now this letter late last night, it really just did, as you say, came completely out of the blue. There was no expectation this was going to happen. Trump saying he is going to raise, remember the original fentanyl tariffs, the 25% tariffs that applied on all Canadian goods, including a separate 10% rate on energy products exported from Canada to the United States. But then there was later a big carve out of that for anything that was actually being shipped under that was covered by the new NAFTA agreement, the USMCA, or CUSMA as we call it here in Canada. And so that seemed to be resolved. But now fentanyl, major issue again. This letter that Trump sent last night, full of references to the flow of fentanyl from the United States into Canada, the other way around, from Canada into the United States, and Trump's ongoing concerns with that. It was something the Canadians thought they'd addressed. We spent a lot of money beefing up the border, $1.2 billion in new funding to improve border security and track down precursor chemicals that are used to make fentanyl, and that seemed to be appeasing the Trump administration, or so we thought. But this is not the only issue for Trump. He goes on in this letter, and I'm going to read from it. He says, I must mention the flow of fentanyl is hardly the only challenge we have with Canada, which has many tariff and non-tariff policies and trade barriers, which cause unsustainable trade deficits against the United States. That's what Trump wrote. Keeping in mind that the reason why they have trade deficits with Canada is they buy a lot of our oil. And if you exclude energy from that equation, we actually have Canada has a trade deficit with the United States. That is, we buy more from them than they buy from us. Nevertheless, Carney responding last night with a message of his own on social media saying that Canada has made vital progress to stop the scourge of fentanyl in North America. We are committed to continuing to work with the United States to save lives and protect communities in both our countries. So, now what? Well, the July 21st date appears to be scrapped. That's off. Carney in that message last night saying that he's now going to work towards this revised deadline of August 1st. That's the same date that Trump has promised to impose all these other tariffs on other countries, countries that were hit by the so-called Liberation Day tariffs that he announced at the beginning of April and then almost immediately paused because the stock markets around the world tanked. They did not like that, so Trump backed down on that, tacoed in the vernacular that a lot of people use to describe him as Trump always chickens out. He always seems to back down on these things. But now he's saying, okay, the rate for Canada starting August 1st is going to be 35%. Is this a negotiating position? Very likely. How is this going to work, though, if they can't get a deal before August 1st? Are these products actually going to face this 35% tariff? Well, it's possible that this could be given another exemption under the USMCA. We don't have a lot of clarity yet from the White House on this other than what Trump wrote on this letter. So we're going to wait and see today, Karen, what shape this is going to take. Is this going to be a new tariff? How is this going to work with the sectoral tariffs on the auto sector, on steel and aluminum, on copper, which a 50% tariff that Trump just announced this week. So there's all these different tariffs. We don't have any kind of guidance from the United States administration on how exactly this will all work. But what it really looks like is negotiations between Canada and the U.S. are getting down to their short strokes here. This has been an ongoing process. We have not got updates from the Canadian government on whether these are going well or if they're going poorly. This message from social media last night from Trump suggests that he's not happy with the way things are going. Either he thinks that he's giving up ground on the negotiation or he wants additional leverage in order to secure more concessions from Canada. We'll wait and see today, Karen, if we can hear from any of the cabinet ministers who are involved on this to see exactly how they think this is going to work and whether or not this means the negotiations are breaking down or getting close to conclusion.